Do not eat what is leavened. All your dwellings you are to eat unleavened bread. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. All right. So that being said, that's what we're doing today. And for those of you who, again, are in areas where the sun has already set, please do partake of the unleavened bread. And as you're eating it, as you already know and are instructed, may you, what's the word I'm looking for, Aki? Examine. That's the word I'm looking for. I just woke up from a nap, so my brain is a little slow at the moment. But may we examine ourselves and to make sure that we remove all the leaven out of our hearts and out of our minds, be it boasting, pridefulness, ego, and just outright transgressions. That is sin. We are to be pure. We are to be clean. We are to be walking upright before our Abba Yahuah. We are to be Kadash, that is separated, okay, set apart from the rest of the world. Now, let me share with you what Yahuah put on my heart today. I woke up, and as I customarily do, I like to read at least a chapter. And on this Yom, as I woke up, Abba Yahuah took me straight to Yashiyahu, Isaiah. Let us read this. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 21. So I want you guys to see this. This has a lot to do with what's going on right now in our world. As the world is filled with leavened, we, his people, are to be unleavened. The Messiah says that he is the bread that came down from the Shama, from the heaven. He told us to eat of him. If we do not partake of his flesh and drink of his blood, we are not of him. Now, what we're about to read here is talking about the things that are going on at this moment. And I had no idea that Yahuah was going to take me here this morning. So I know that this is a word in season for this moment in this time. Let's read this. Starting at chapter 21, verse 1 in the book of Isaiah, Yashiyahu. It reads, "The message concerning the wilderness of the sea, as whirlwinds in the south sweep on, so it comes from the wilderness, from an awesome land. A distressing vision is revealed to me. The treacherous betrays, and the ravager ravages. Go up, O Alam. Besiege, O Media. All the groaning I bring to an end. Therefore, my loins are filled with anguish. Pangs have seized me, like the pangs of a woman in labor. I was distressed when I heard it. I was troubled when I saw it. My heart reeled. Horror overwhelmed me. The night for that I longed, he, meaning Yahuah, turned into fear for me. Prepare the table, spread the mat, eat and drink. Arise, you princes, anoint the shield. For Yahuah has said this to me, quote, go, set a watchman, let him declare what he sees, end of quote. And he saw a chariot with a pair of horsemen, a chariot of donkeys, and a chariot of camels. And he listened attentively, very attentively. Then he cried, quote, a lion, O Yahuah. I stand continually on the watchtower in the daytime, and I have sat at my post every night. And see, I see this, a chariot of men coming with a pair of horsemen. And he spoke up and said, Babylon is fallen. And all the carved images of her mighty ones, he, Yahuah, has broken to the ground. O my threshing, and the grain of my floor, that I have heard from Yahuah of hosts, the mighty one of Yasharal, I have declared to you. The message concerning Duma. He calls to me out of Seir, quote, Watchman, how much of the night is past? Watchman, how much of the night has passed? End of quote. The watchman said, Bakor, morning came, and also the night. If you inquire, inquire. Come again. The message concerning Arabia. In the forest in Arabia you stay. O you traveling companies of the Dananites. You who dwell in the land of Tama. Bring water to him who is thirsty. Meet the fugitive with bread. For they fled from the swords, from the drawn sword, from the bent bow, and from the stress of battle. For thus Yahuah has said to me, within a year, according to the year of a hired man, all the esteem of Qatar shall come to an end. And the rest of the number of the archers, the mighty men of the people of Qatar, shall be few. For Yahuah, the mighty one of Yasharal, has spoken. Mishpachah, what we just read here is speaking about what is happening right now between two countries. And it's also speaking of other countries that are also involved. Let's look at it again, and I hope you all see it. Let's break it down. Notice what it says here. A distressing vision, Isaiah says, was revealed to him. The treacherous betrays. The ravager ravages. Go up, O Alim. Does anyone know who Alim is today? Besiege, O media. Does anybody know who media is today? Alim is media. Does anybody know who media is as Alim is? Let's see if anyone knows a little bit of history. Yes. Yes. Iran. Iran is Alim. Iran today, modern Iran, is media. You may know it as Medio-Persia. Have you ever heard that before? Medio-Persia is Iran. Tudata Aki. I want you also to understand something else. Hold on one second. Let me make sure I put on my Wi-Fi because I don't have it on right now before it goes bad. And we all have issues. Give me a second. Let's allow this to kick in. Oh, yeah, that right there is about to wake a brother up. Oh, that's delicious. Now, I told you that there was another country that was involved. This is not by coincidence. So we see here Alim and Media. Again, Iran. But notice what it says down here. Verse 9. And see this, a chariot of men coming with a pair of horsemen. And he spoke up and said, what? Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Wow. People would say, but that might be old Babylon. Here's the funny thing, or I shouldn't say funny. Here's the ironic thing. Babylon used to encompass what we know today as Iran, and not only Iran, but also Iraq. If you go back and look at an ancient map, and you go back and you look at the maps of those of antiquity, you would see that Alim and Media used to be part of Babylon. So we're not talking about old Babylon. We're not talking about old Alim or old Media. We're talking about something new, that these two forces will be going against one another. Let's continue. We're going to stay in the same book. No, not the same book. We're going to go to Yirmiyahu. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50. Oh, this is where it's going to get very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's look at this. The word that the word that Yahuah spoke concerning Babel. Same thing, Babylon. Concerning the land of the Chassidim. Yours may say Chaldeans. By Yirmiyahu, you know him as Jeremiah, the Nabi, the prophet. Here Yahuah tells Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah, declare among the Goyim, the nations, and let it be heard, and lift up a banner, let it be heard, and do not conceal it, meaning do not seal it up, do not hide it. Say, Babylon, Babel shall be taken. We all know who this is. Baal shall be put to shame. Satan shall be put to shame. Notice this word here, Merodach. This is also another word for Marduk. We're going to look at Marduk here in a minute. Let me bring this down. Marduk shall be broken. Her images shall be put to shame. Let me back this out a little bit so we can see it all together. Her idols, notice I keep saying her. This is talking about Babylon. Her idols shall be broken. For a nation shall come up against her from the north, that shall make her land a waste, and none shall dwell in it. They shall flee. Who's they? The inhabitants of Babylon. They shall go, both man and beast. In those days and at that time, declares Yahuah, the children of Yasharal shall come, they and the children of Yehudah together. Notice what it's talking about. This is what's happening right now. The awakening of the children of Yasharal and also of the house of Yehudah is happening right now. Notice this. What did it say? In those days. What days? This present time. And at that time, declares Yahuah, the children of Yasharal shall come, they and the children of Yehudah together. Remember what he said in Ezekiel? What did he say? He said that I will take two sticks and make them one in my hand. The two houses shall become one. It says that there will be weeping as they come and seek Yahuah, their Aluah. Why are they weeping? Because we know who we are. We know we done messed up. We know we have to get back right with him. We know we have to keep his commandments because we broke the agreement. Our ancestors broke the agreement. But now he has opened up our eyes, and this is why we come weeping before Yahuah. We're seeking him with our heart and with our mind and with our strength. They shall ask the way to Zion. Who's asking the way? Not Christians, not Muslims, not Buddhists. No, these are people who have left all this Babylonian ways and the Babylonian teachings, and their eyes have been open and their heart is attentive to the Ruach, and they want to know the truth. Their faces towards it, towards what? Towards Zion. Come, let us join ourselves to Yahuah. Oh, hallelujah. I don't know if you guys are hearing this. In an everlasting agreement, never to be forgotten. Why? Because we've forgotten it. Our ancestors forgot it. We're over here calling ourselves Christians. We're over here calling ourselves Muslims. We're over here calling ourselves Buddhists. We're calling everything but who we are. The children of the Most High Yah. That's who we are. Let us continue. Notice what it says in verse 6. My people, his people, have been wandering sheep. That's right. Once again, when is this going to happen? In those days and at that time? We're not going to be wandering anymore. That's what's happening to all of us, those who are native born and those who have been grafted in. We have found our Messiah. Once again, we have found what is to be done before Abba Yahuah, which is obedience. Their shepherds, verse 6, have led them astray. That's right. Blame it on your pastor, your preacher, your teacher, your evangelist, your reverend, your minister. Why? Because they also have been led astray. Who led them astray? Satan. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. Satan has led us astray. turning them away on the mountains. What are the mountains? All the other countries, all the other nations. All the other nations that don't belong to Yahuah. They don't have an agreement with Yahuah. There's only one nation that has an agreement with Yahuah, and it's Israel. And we're not talking about those who call themselves Jews and are not. We're not talking about the state of Israel. We're talking about the true Israelites. We're talking about the true Yasharal. We're talking about those who are actually from Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, and the 12 sons of Jacob. We're talking about those who have grafted themselves in to partake and become citizens of Yasharal, no longer to be Gentiles. That's who we're talking about. Again, they have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Where is our resting place? Zion. Zion is our resting place. Verse 7, all who found them have devoured them. What is this talking about? It's talking about the history of the children of Yasharal. These people in prominent positions of power and authority, once they found out who are the ones, they started taking us out. They took out our parents. They took out children. They tried to destroy the bloodline. They wiped out our heritage. We had no idea of who we were. But again, we can't blame them. But Yahuah says that these people have done us wrong. These people have scattered his sheep. These people have done more than what they were supposed to do. Yes, Yahuah used our enemies against us, but they went too far. They went too far, Mishpachah. And now he's getting ready to deal with them. This is what we're all witnessing right now. Let's continue. You're going to see this. This is literally happening right now in front of our face. And so it goes on and says again, verse 7, all who found them have devoured them. And their adversaries have said, quote, we are not guilty because they have sinned against Yahuah, the home of righteousness and the expectation of their fathers, Yahuah. You see this? The Gentiles, these in prominent positions of power and authority, know who we are. They're saying that what they are doing to us with this strong hand and with this strong arm and the way they are causing us to not know who we are and to put so much upon us, they know what they're doing. And they're saying, we're not sinning. We're doing this because Yahuah told us to do it. He has given them into our hand. And so we're going to take them out. We can do whatever we want with them. They have been given into our hands. This is what they're saying in their heart. Verse 8, flee from the midst of Babel. Come out of the land of Kasadim, out of the Chaldeans, and be as rams before a flock. What is he saying? What is Yahuah telling his people? He says to flee Babylon. Is he saying physically? No. He's talking about from your mind and your heart. Remember, we're not talking about physical things here. We're talking about spiritual matters. This is why people can't understand prophecy. You got people over here saying, oh, they're over here saying this and that about the abomination of desolation. They don't even know what they're talking about. Yahuah is going to reveal this in the last days. We are to be rams before the flock. What do rams do? They headbutt. Who are we headbutting against? Against the people of the world, against the powers that be, against those who are teaching us unrighteous things. We're headbutting. We're to be rams before the flock. Verse 9, for look, I am stirring up and bringing up against Babylon an assembly of great nations, plural, from the land of the north. And they shall array themselves against her. Who's her? Babylon. From there she shall be captured. Their arrows are like those of mighty skilled people, not returning empty-handed, meaning that all of the weapons of these nations, when they go against this country, when they go against Babylon, not one of them is going to fall where it's not supposed to. Everyone is going to hit their mark. Every one of them is going to hit their mark. Verse 10, and Chaldea shall become a plunder. All who plunder her shall satisfy themselves, declares Yahuah. You see, this country has been taking for so many years. Why do you think she's sitting the way she's sitting right now? Why do you think all the people of the world and all the nations of the earth were scared of her all these years? Because of her military. Because of her military. But the roles are about to be reversed. Verse 11, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, you who plundered my inheritance. Uh-oh. So this particular Babylon has plundered his people, his inheritance. Did he not say that Yasharal is his inheritance? Yes, he did. This is exactly what they've done to the so-called African Americans, the so-called Negroes, the so-called blacks of the United Snakes of America. Notice this. They plundered his inheritance because you have grown fat like a heifer, threshing grain, and you nigh like stallions. What do they do? What does it mean by nighing? They're chewing. They have literally tried to destroy us. And you nied like stallions. Your mother shall be greatly ashamed. Who's the mother of the United Snakes? Great Britain. Great Britain. And who created Great Britain? The Catholic Church. That's right. And there was a split. This is where you get the Anglican Church or the Church of England. They split from the Catholic Church. Let's continue. It says, your mother shall be greatly ashamed. She who bore you shall be humiliated. Look, the last of the nations, a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. The United Snakes of America, out of all of these countries that came about from eons past, she's one of the new kids on the block. 1776, they told us, right? This is when they so-called had their Day of Independence in July 4th. This country ain't even 300 years old. 250, I believe it is, to be exact. She's the one who is the new kid on the block. Notice what verse 13 says. Because of the wrath, the anger of Yahuah, she shall not be inhabited, but she shall be deserted. Why is all this happening? Because this country has his inheritance. It has his people. All of it. Everyone passing by Babylon shall be astonished and whistle at all her plagues. You see him already starting. It's going to tell us about some of these plagues right now. Verse 14, set yourselves in array against Babylon all around, all you who bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned. She has transgressed against Yahuah. This country has been defying our creator of heaven and earth for 250 years. Again, it says here, shout against her all around. She has given her hand. Her foundations have fallen. Her walls are thrown down. Let's back up. So what are her foundations? Her foundations is what she stands for. It's what's supporting her. But now they have fallen. Her walls, which are used for protection, are now going to be destroyed. She shall be infiltrated. For it is the vengeance of Yahuah. He's doing this. He has put this in the hearts of these other leaders of other nations to do what we're seeing right now. Take vengeance on her. As she has done, so do to her. Woo! Wow. This country has done a lot to other countries. Cut off the sower from Babylon and him who handles the sickle at harvest time. Our farmers are going to be destroyed. Our ability to have food is going to be non-existent. From before the sword of the oppressor, each one turns to his own people, and each one flees to his own land. Listen to this. Are we not a land of immigrants? Do we not have people who have money already leaving? Some of your celebrities saying, oh, I'm leaving. I'm going back to Europe where my forefathers came from. Huh? You got some of these people that are fleeing to England. They're fleeing to France. They're fleeing to Belgium. Some of them are fleeing to Switzerland. Some of the other people are going back to certain nations in Africa. Yasharal is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the sovereign of Ashur, meaning the king of Syria, devoured him, speaking of the northern 10 tribes. And now at last, this Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, has broken his bones. Let's stop right there. You may say, oh, this is talking about something in the past. This is talking about when King Nebuchadnezzar came and got the children, or excuse me, the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin with parts of the tribe of Levi. But this is also talking about the whole house of Israel. This is something different. Who is Nebuchadnezzar? It's talking about the spirit, or the ones who are going to be like a Nebuchadnezzar who was like before. Let's continue. You'll see what I'm saying. You'll see what Yahuah is telling us. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babel, has broken his bones. Therefore, thus said Yahuah of hosts, the mighty one of Yasharal, see, I am punishing the king of Babel and his land, as I have punished the sovereign of Ashur. And I shall bring back Yasharal. I shall bring back Yasharal to his pasture, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied on Mount Ephraim and Galaad. Shall be satisfied. In those days and at that time, there's those words again, in those days and at that time, declares Yahuah, the crookedness of Yasharal shall be searched for, but there shall be none. What, Takia? What? There shall be none. None shall be found. For I shall pardon those whom I leave as a remnant. Once again, this is not old Babylon. This is not old tribe of Judah when they were taken to Babylon. This is talking about after the Messiah came. And what did he do on the tree? He was given over for our transgressions. He says right here that our transgressions shall not be found. We shall be pardoned. Hallelujah, Yahuah. Hallelujah, Yahuah. Again, verse 20, in those days and at that time, this lets you know he's talking about a future time, a prophecy that is in the distant. We are now here. The crookedness of Yasharal shall be searched for. Again, King Nebuchadnezzar didn't take the house of Israel into captivity. He took the house of Judah into captivity. But here we're talking about Israel and Judah. Notice here, the crookedness of Yasharal shall be searched for, but there shall be none. And the sin, which is a crookedness, of Yehudah, but none shall be found. This is the last days. For I, Yahuah says, shall pardon those whom I leave as a remnant. That's you and me. Not everyone's seeing this truth. Not everyone is waking up to this truth. We're the remnant. As we're keeping these feast days to the best of our understanding, he has separated us from the people of the world who are not keeping this. They're still keeping Easter. They're going to be doing all these other pagan holidays as they show up on their pagan calendar. We're not doing these things anymore. We've separated ourselves. We gone a weeping looking for Yahuah. We gone a weeping wanting to know that path to get back to Zion. Hallelujah. I hope somebody's hearing this, Aki. I hope somebody's hearing this. Yeah, I think they hear you, Ak. We'll see. We'll see, Ak. Only Abba Yahuwah knows. Let's continue. Verse 21, go up against the land of Merathaim, against it, and against the inhabitants of Pakad. Slay and put them under the ban, declares Yahuwah, and do according to all that I have commanded you. There is a sound of battle in the land and of great destruction. Many of you are probably listening to the news and they're talking about, oh, we got a 2-week ceasefire thing going on between Iran and Israel and the United States of America. Don't let all that stuff fool you. These people are lying at the same table. They're lying at the same table. Verse 23, how the hammer of all the Arats, the earth, has been cut off and broken. How Babylon has become a ruin among the nations, among the other countries. Who is the hammer of all the earth? Who is that hammer of all the earth? Is that not the U.S. military that President Trump likes to brag and boast about? We got the most powerful military in human history. Huh? Hegseth, he over there going around the so-called the Secretary of the Department of War, going around bragging about unaliving people and unaliving the leaders of Media and Persia, of Iran. Oh, the Ayatollah, dead. His assistant, dead. His military minister, dead. Oh, he's just going on and listening, and you can see the smirk on his face. The pridefulness, the boastfulness, the ego of this country is insane. The leaven of this country is ridiculous. But she's going to become a ruin of all the nations, this hammer of the earth. Verse 24, I have laid a snare for you, and you were captured, O Babylon, and you yourself did not know. You see, this government took the bait. It took the bait. You have been found and also caught because you strove against Yahuwah. They were fighting against Yahuwah and didn't even know it. All this that they're doing right now, they're fighting against Yahuwah and they don't even realize what they're doing right now. Let's continue. Verse 25. Yahuwah has opened his armory and has brought out the weapons of his displeasure, for the master mighty one of hosts has a work to do in the land of the Chaldeans, the Kasadim, the Babylonians, the United Snakes of America. Come against her from every quarter, open her storehouses, pile her up as heaps of ruins, and put her under the ban. Let her have no remnant. Slay all her bulls, that's her mighty men. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe to them, for their day has come, the time of their punishment. Listen, they flee and escape from the land of Babylon to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahuwah, our mighty one, the vengeance of his Akal, of his temple. This is us right here. This is us. Verse 29. Summon archers against Babylon, all you who bend the bow, encamp against it according to her work. What's her work? What does she do? She oppresses the other nations. You don't abide by her rules, sanctions are put on you. You don't abide by her rules, oh, we're coming against you with war. You don't abide by her rules, we're going to start starving your people. We're going to take out your power structure. We're going to take out your children. Just like they dropped that bomb on those 100 or what was that, 150 girls in that girls' school, or 250, I can't remember the number. And that's just what we know. Summon archers against Babylon, all you who bend the bow, encamp against all around it. Let no one escape. Let no one escape. Repay her according to her work. Do to her according to all she has done. For she has been proud against Yahuah, against the set apart one of Yasharal. You may say again, this is something that happened in the past. This is why it's in the so-called Old Testament in the book of Jeremiah. Let's hold it right here. Let's come back to verse 29. Let's go over here and look at what we know as Hazon, also as Revelation. Let's go there, chapter 19. Or excuse me, chapter 18. What does it say here? Revelation 18:1. And after this I saw another messenger, an angel, coming down from the Shama, from heaven, having great authority or power. And the earth, the Arats, was lit from his esteem. And he, this Malak, this angel, cried with a mighty voice, saying, what? Babylon the great is fallen, and has become a dwelling place of the demons, a haunt for every unclean spirit, a haunt or a dwelling place for every unclean and hated bird, because all the nations, not some, all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her whoring, her prostitution, the adulteries that she has committed in the eyes of Yahuah. And the sovereigns of the earth have committed whoring or prostitution with her. They were in bed with her. And the merchants of the earth, we know who the merchants of the earth are, all those who have become rich through the power of her righteous living. And I heard another voice from the heavens saying, what? Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins and lest you receive of her plagues. What did we just read over here? Let's go back. Jeremiah 29. Summon archers against Babylon, all you who bend the bow, and camp against it all around. Let no one escape. Repay her according to her work. Do to her according to all she has done, for she has been proud against Yahuah. Who's the one who says that they are the proud, the free? Huh? It is the United Snakes, Aki. They're the proud. They call themselves being free. Free from what? Free from the truth, free from the commandments, free from the laws of Yahuah. These are wickedness things that we're seeing that's happening right now. Let us continue here in Yirmiyahu and Jeremiah. Therefore, verse 30, her young men shall fall in the streets, and all her men of battle, her military, the United Snakes military, shall perish in that day, declares Yahuah. See, I am against you, O proud one. Who's the proud country? Who's the proud nation? Who's the one that every time they lift up their stars and stripes, everybody say, oh, we got to bow down to this country because they're supposed to be the best country in the whole wide world, having this American dream, which is actually the American nightmare? For your day has come, the time of your punishment. Oh, how this country is being punished right now. And the proud one shall stumble, and he shall fall, with no one to raise him up. And I shall kindle a fire in his cities, plural. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This isn't some vague prophecy. This is very specific. It's talking about everything from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the northern border to the southern border, every city. You ain't going to be safe in any city. This is when he says, come out of her, my people, he's not talking about out of the land of the country of the place that we call the United Snakes. No, he's talking about from their commerce centers, their commercial centers, these areas that we call cities. Your New York cities, your LA, your San Francisco, your Houstons, your St. Louis's, your Chicago's, your Detroit's, your Minneapolis's, you know what I'm saying? Dallas, Fort Worth, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, all these places where people have congregated and they have built up Babylon. They're interconnected. Yahuah is about to destroy these cities, and he has put it into the hearts of these leaders in these other countries, and one specifically from the north. Who is north of the United States of America? Go right over the North Pole, and you go straight over to the other side, and you have there sitting on the other side of that North Pole, Russia, and even China. He has put it in their hearts. The day is coming. The day of reckoning is here. Verse 32, and the proud one shall stumble, and he shall fall, with no one to raise him up. And I shall kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around him. Thus said Yahuah of hosts, the children of Yasharal were oppressed, along with the children of Yehudah. What do we find here? What do we find here in the United States of America? We find both of them here. The children of Yasharal, who they've been calling Native Americans. Yes. These were the 10 northern tribes that were scattered to the four quarters of the earth. They were here already before Christopher Columbus came across the blue. They were already here. And they try to wipe them out. They try to dilute their bloodline and dilute their DNA by crossbreeding with them. And so you get people that look like me who are mixed, half and half, Arabs. But the originals, go even into Mexico. You look at the original Mexican, they're dark. They look just like your so-called African American with Afro. This is history. It's not about picking a color over the other. I'm sharing this with you because it's in the book. The book tells us and told us where these people were scattered. And not only the children of Yasharal, the 10 northern tribes, but the others that were brought here on ships. That was who we know as the tribe of Yehudah, Judah. And they're both found here in this nation. They oppressed us, along with the children of Yehudah, and all who took them captive have held them fast. They're not letting us go. They refuse to let them go, just like Pharaoh would not let his people go. They're doing the same thing today. Spoke to an Aki earlier today. He said, Aki, I try to get Mondays off because we know that that's the Sabbath right now, but my employer wouldn't do it. They said that they only work from Monday to Friday, and since I want Monday off, that's a 20% of the time has been taken. This ain't nothing but the spirit of Pharaoh. So all of you who are not able to take that day off according to the commandment, don't worry, don't fret. Abba Yahuah sees what's going on, but you still keep it to the best of your ability. You keep it to the best of your ability because Abba Yahuah knows that you from your heart want that day off, but your oppressors, those who are over you, will not give it to you. No, they want you to line up with their fake calendar. They want you to line up with their fake Sabbath day. They want you to line up with what they're telling you to do. It's always been the case. Verse 34, their Redeemer. Who's our Redeemer? Yahusha. There's a beautiful song that this lady sang, and I can't remember her name. But it goes something like, for I know my Redeemer lives, and I know my Redeemer lives. Let every nation testify. Right? Yes, our Redeemer lives. Our Redeemer is strong. Yahuah, the host is his name, not God, not Lord. His name is Yahuah, not Jehovah, not Yahweh. It's Yahuah. That's his name. He shall strongly plead their case. Whose case? Israel's case, Yahudah's case, not Christian's case, not no Gentiles case, not no church case, not no New Testament saints case. He's going to plead the case of his people, the one that he made an agreement with at the foot of Mount Sinai. That's who he's going to deal with. That was the promise. That was what he gave and he told to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and then to the 12 tribes of Yasharal. Let's stick to the script. Let's stop changing it with the Roman mind understanding. Let's continue. Again, he shall strongly plead their case so as to give rest to the land, but unrest to the inhabitants of Babylon. So he's going to give us rest. That's the millennial reign, right? Remember, a day is 1,000 years and 1,000 years is a day. Well, it's the seventh day is a day of rest. The millennial reign, which is the 7,000th year, is 1,000 years of rest. So he's going to give us rest, but he's not giving rest to those who have the Babylonian persuasion, who have the Babylonian mindset, those that are in Christianity and those who are in Islam and in all those other so-called professed religions that are out there that's causing confusion and amok amongst the people, and they don't know what the truth is. Let's continue. A sword is upon the Kasdim. A sword is upon the Babylonians, declares Yahuah, and it is upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her heads, and upon her wise men. So why does it say it's upon her heads, plural, and upon her wise men, plural? The heads is our politician. The wise men are those think tanks, like the trilateral commissions, huh? Like the what's that other one that they call? IPAC, American Israeli, whatever they call themselves. All these think tanks. Yeah, that's who he's talking about. A sword is upon all of their heads. A sword is upon their liars, upon the liars, and they shall be fools. A sword is upon her mighty men, again, the military, and they shall be broken down. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mixed peoples. Who are these mixed peoples? You see what's going on in this country. We're becoming a melting pot. Everyone is marrying another race and they're becoming melted. There's nothing wrong with marrying other races, but what is not correct, what is not right, is that they are leading you astray into their belief systems. That's why Yahuah says you are not to give your son over to these people, to their daughters, because they're going to turn your hearts from him. The peoples who are in her midst, and they shall become like women, meaning that the men will become effeminate. I can't even say it right. They're going to become womenized. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be plundered. What are her treasures? Her banks, all of her precious things. A sword is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. All you have to do is just go over here and look at Lake Mead. Look what's happening. Lake Mead, I shared this with you guys a couple of lives ago. It's just not for Las Vegas. You know how many people siphon from that lake? The whole Southwest. And not only the Southwest, for the people who inhabit these areas of the Southwest, which is all desert, but they got aqueducts going to their farmlands from this same river, this same lake. And this is going to affect the economy of the whole United States of America. All your fruits and vegetables, most of them come from these areas of California and Arizona. Drying it up. For it is a land of carved images. For it is a land of carved images. And they boast about their idols. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. Your Hellcats, your Corvettes, your big old Hummers, your big old houses, your Louis Vuitton bags, your red bottom shoes, all these things that we all just take, and we lift them up and we place them in prominent areas and put them on pedestals and all of this stuff that we have. We're insane with our idols in this country, unlike any other country on the earth, more than all of them. This Babylon. Yes, they boast about their idols. Verse 39, therefore the wild desert beasts shall dwell with the jackals, and the ostriches dwell in it, and it shall never again be inhabited, nor dwelled in, until all generations. So what are we being told here? When Yahuah destroys his country, it shall never be built again. This whole American experiment, this American dream, It's going to be gone. Why? Because this has been the brainchild of Satan. This is what he wanted. This is what he wanted. And Yahuah allowed him to build it. As Yahuah Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring cities, declares Yahuah, so no one would dwell there, nor would Son of Man sojourn in it. See, a people shall come from the north, once again from the north, and a great nation and many kings stirred up from the ends of the earth. They strengthen their bow and spear. They are cruel. They show no compassion, meaning they show no mercy. They sound like the roaring sea, and they ride on horses. They set themselves in array like a man for the battle against you, O daughter of Babel. Why does it say daughter of Babel? Because this ain't the original Babylon. This is the mystery Babylon. This is the one who came after. Who was the mother? The original Babylon. Who is the daughter? The one who came from the original Babylon with all of its ideologies, with all of its teachings, with all of its understanding and infrastructure. That's what this country has done. The king of Babylon has heard the report about them. About what? About these other militaries and their leaders that have set themselves to get ready to punish this country. He heard the report about them, and his hands became weak. Is it going to be President Trump? I don't know. Is it going to be somebody else? I don't know. What I do know is what's written in this book, and I do know that it is going to happen. It is for certain that this is going to happen to this country. Distress has taken hold of him. Pain what does it say here? Pain like that of a woman in labor, like a woman who's about to give birth. See, he comes. Shall make them run away from her. And who is the chosen one whom I appoint against her? Who's this chosen one? Our Mashiach, the anointed. For who is like me, he says, who summons me, who calls for me? Who is that shepherd who stands before me? There is none. He is the true shepherd. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahuah that he has counseled concerning Babylon, and his purposes he has proposed concerning the land of the Chassidims, or of the land of the Babylonians. The least of the flock shall drag them away. He shall make their pasture a waste before them. At the sound of Babel's capture, the earth shall be shaken, and the outcry shall be heard among the nations, amongst the other countries. It's just like what we see in Revelation right here. What does it say here? Revelation 18. The merchants of those who became rich by her, shall stand at a distance for fear of her torture, weeping and mourning and saying, woe, woe, that great city that was dressed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour such great riches was laid waste, and every shipmaster and every passenger and sailor and as many as work the seas for their living stood at a distance and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what is like this great city? And they threw dust on their heads and cried out, weeping and mourning, and saying, woe, woe, the great city, in that all who had ships on the sea became rich by her wealth, for in 1 hour she has been laid waste. But what does Yahuah say? Rejoice over her, rejoice over Babylon, O heaven. You set apart emissaries, you apostles and prophets, for Yahuah Elohim has completely avenged you on her. He has completely avenged you on her. He's talking about his people, not Christians, not Muslims, not the church. He's talking about Israel and those who have been grafted into Israel. That's who he's talking about. Let's go back. At the sound of Babel's capture, the earth shall be shaken, and an outcry shall be heard amongst the nations. Chapter 51. Thus said Yahuah, see, I am stirring up the spirit of a destroyer against Babylon. Notice what it says here. He says that he is stirring up the spirit, a ruach, of a destroyer against Babylon, against those who dwell in Lob, my opponents. And I shall send winnowers to Babel, who shall winnow her and empty her land, for they shall be against her all around in the day of evil. Let the archer draw his bow, and let him stand ready in his armor. Do not spare her young men. Put all her army under the ban. The so-called great military of the United Snakes shall be destroyed. And the slain shall fall in the land of Kasdim, and the pierced through in her streets. It's letting you know there is going to be a lot of unalived people in the cities of this country. For neither Yasharal nor Yahudah is widowed by his mighty one, Yahuah of hosts. Notice what he's talking about. We are spared from this. Israel and Yahudah, both houses, we are spared from his wrath. Though their land has been filled with sin against the set apart one of Yasharal, flee from the midst of Babylon, and let each one of you save their lives. Do not be cut off in her crookedness, for this is the time of vengeance of Yahuah, the recompense. He is repaying her, just like we read in Revelation chapter 18. Come out of her, my people. Do not share in her plagues. Flee from the midst of Babylon, and let each one save his life. Do not be cut off in her crookedness, for this is the time of vengeance of Yahuah, the recompense. He is repaying her. Babylon was a golden cup. Babylon was a golden cup. Did we just not read about the golden cup in Revelation 18? Yes, we did. In the hand of Yahuah, making drunk all the earth. What did she do? Did she not cause all the earth to drink of her golden cup? And they were drunk by her? The nations drank her wine? That is why the nations went mad? They were drunk. Babylon shall suddenly fall and be broken. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, if so be she might be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Let us leave her, each one go to his own land, for her judgment reaches to the heavens and is lifted up to the clouds. Yahuah has brought forth our righteousness. Come, let us relate in Zion the work of Yahuah, our mighty one. Again, let our hearts turn back to Zion. Let our hearts turn back to the ancient path. Polish the arrows, put on the shields. Yahuah has stirred up the spirit, the ruach of the kings of the what? We just talked about the Medes. Who is the Medes? Media Persia. Who did he stir up? Iran. He stirred up Iran. Yahuah stirred up the Iranians. This is happening right before our face. Do you have ears to hear? Do you have eyes to see? Or are you going to continue to be complacent? Are you going to continue to be nonchalant about your everyday life because you think tomorrow is going to be like today or like it was yesterday, and you're going to allow yourselves to think that you're going to get your 401k and your 501 and 601k and you're going to be able to cash in the fruits of your labor? Oh, them days is done. It's time to pay the piper. It's time to find Yahuah. It's time to be obedient and bow to his commandments. And so what did he say here? Again, verse 11, polish the arrows, put on the shields. Yahuah has stirred up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, the leaders of the Iranians. For his plan is against Babylon to destroy it. His plan is against the United States of America to destroy it. And who is he using? The Medes, the Iranians. This is what's starting. This is what's kicking off all of this. This is why the president of the United States is saying F-bombs, talking about opening up the Straits of Hormuz, because he knows, as much as he wants to lie and say, oh, we don't need that oil over there. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because if you don't take that oil, your whole commerce is going to be destroyed. So you're taking it, just like you took those from Venezuela, just like you took those from Iraq, just like you took those from Kuwait. Exactly, Danielle. Great to see you here, Ak. For his plan is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahuah, the vengeance for his Hakal, for his temple. Lift up a banner on the walls of Babylon. Strengthen the watch, station the watchman, prepare the ambush, for Yahuah has both planned and done what he spoke concerning the inhabitants of Babylon. You who dwell upon many waters, great in treasures, your end has come. Your end has come. The measure of your greedy gain. People, if you don't understand what we're reading, it's literally a description of one country and one country alone on this earth right now. Who dwells upon many waters? Who has the Pacific coast and has the Atlantic coast? Who has the Gulf of Mexico coast, even though he likes to rename it, calling it the Gulf of the Americas? Who is surrounded by waters? It's only speaking of one nation. It's the same nation that has Israel. It's the same nation that has Judah. It's the same nation that has plundered his people. It's the same nation that is called the hammer of the earth. It's the same nation that has told everybody she must become like them. It's the same country that goes around proselytizing everybody to become Christians. Because the United States is the military arm of the Vatican Church. Verse 13, you who dwell upon many waters, great in treasures, your end has come. The measure of your greedy gain. Yahuah of hosts has sworn by himself, I shall certainly fill you with men as with locusts, and they shall lift up a shout against you. He made the earth by his power. He established the world by his wisdom, and stretched out the Shamaim, the heavens, by his understanding. When he gives forth his voice, the waters in the Shamaim roar, and he makes vapors to ascend from the ends of the Arats. He makes lightnings for the rain, and he brings the wind out of his treasuries. All Adam's kind has become too brutish to know. Every smith has been put to shame by the carved image. For his molded image is falsehood, it's lies, and there is no breath in them. They are worthless, a work of mockery. In the time of their punishment, they perish. What is this work of mockery? Jesus Christ. What is the work of their mockery? Christianity. What is the work of their mockery? Everything that she stands for. Christendom. They're mocking the truth. Who's mocking the truth? Christianity is. Christianity does not line up with this book. Christianity has veered away from this truth. Christianity gave you another Messiah and called him the Christ. Christianity has given you another calendar and it's called the Gregorian calendar. Christianity is the one who took you off of what he told us, what Yahuah told us to keep, the appointed times of Yahuah, and now we're keeping the appointed times of Satan. What are the appointed times of Satan? All of these other things called holidays, holy days, play on words. This stuff is not what he's given. He didn't give us Christmas. He didn't give us Easter. He didn't give us Mother's Day and Father's Days and St. Patty's Days and St. Valentine's Days. And the list goes on and on with Thanksgiving and Halloween. The Catholic Church gave you these. So these are all instruments of mockery. Christianity is a religion of mocking the truth. It looks like it's the truth, but it's not. It is the tares and not the wheat. It looks like wheat, but it's a tare. And when the time of the harvest comes, the tares are going to get bundled up and they're going to get thrown into the furnace. That's Christianity. That's Islam. You better wake up, people. You better wake up, and you better continue to tell your friends and family what's going on, because on that day, they will not have an excuse. Their blood will be upon your hand. Verse 19, the portion of Yaqub is not like them, is not like these who mock the truth. For he is the maker of all, and Yasharal is the tribe of his inheritance. Yahuah of hosts is his name. Again, not Jehovah, not Yahweh, not God, not Lord, and not Jesus the Christ. You, he says, are my battle axe, weapons of battle. And with you I shall break nations in pieces. And with you I shall destroy reigns. He's talking about you and I. He's not talking about nobody else. He's talking about you and me. We are his army. We are his battle axe. He says, with us, he is going to destroy nations. And with you, I shall break in pieces the horse and its rider. With you, I shall break in pieces the chariot and its rider. And with you, I shall break in pieces the man and the woman. And with you, I shall break in pieces the old and the young. With you, I shall break in pieces the young man and the virgin. With you, I shall break in pieces the shepherd and his flock. He's talking about you Christians. He's allowing us to destroy your teachings. He's allowing us to destroy all that you are and what you think is the truth, because you have all been taught mockery. With you, I shall break in pieces the farmer and the yoke of oxen. With you, I shall break in pieces governors and rulers. We're going to destroy the government when that day comes. All you politicians, take note. Take note. You are on the wrong side. Claim Christianity all you want. You're on the wrong side. Claim to be a follower of Jesus Christ all you want. You're on the wrong side. This is the great delusion, the great deception that has been put to all the earth. And this is why you don't even know that you've gone astray, because the deception is real. They've been promoting it for almost 2,000 years. Verse 24, and I shall repay Babylon and all the inhabitants of the Chaldeans for all the evil they have done in Zion before your eyes, declares Yahuah. What has the Babylonians done to the people? What have they done to Zion? They have scattered us. Zion is not Zion except for the inhabitants who dwell in Zion. Jerusalem isn't Jerusalem except for those who dwell in Jerusalem. A city is not a city unless there's inhabitants. Doesn't matter if you have all these buildings. That doesn't make a city a city. It's the people who dwell in it that makes the city a city. And so it is with Zion. And Babylon has scattered the people of the book, has scattered those that they do not want to exist. Wipe their names off from under the heavens, as it says in Psalms. See, I'm against you, O destroying mountain, O destroying nation, who destroys all the earth. This is only one country that has this ability and has this power and authority. It's the United States of America. And I shall stretch out my hand against you, and I shall roll you down from the rocks and make you a burnt mountain. He's going to burn this nation up. He's going to burn this nation up. And they shall not take from you a stone for a corner, nor a stone for a foundation, but you shall be a waste forever, declares Yahuah. Lift up a banner in the land. Blow a shofar amongst the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call the reigns together against her. Notice what it talks about. Notice who it talks about. Ararat, that is who we know today as Turkey. Mini. And Ashkenaz. Who's the Ashkenaz? Who's destroying this earth right now? Is it not the Jewish people who call themselves Ashkenazi Jews? Yahuwah has put it in their hearts. He's put it into the Jewish people's hearts to destroy Americana. That's why you see what's going on right now. It's these Jewish people who are desecrating this land because they know who's in this land. They know the true Zion, not the Zionists, the true Zion, who are the true Israelites, are here. And they want to destroy it. But Yahuwah has put it in their hearts to do so. This is why it's called the time of Jacob's trouble. The true Jacobites, the true Yaqub, the great tribulation. Who brings this upon the children of Yasharal? It's the Ashkenazi Jews. The Ashkenazis are the ones who is going to bring about the torture. They're the ones who are going to bring about the cutting off of the head, because we won't follow their so-called fake Noahide laws that they're about to institute across the land. It's right here. The Ashkenaz. Appoint a commander against her. Bring up horses like hairy locusts. Separate the nations against her. With the sovereigns of the Medes, there it is again, with the kings of the Iranians, its governors and all its rulers, all the land of his rule, so that the land shakes and writhes in pain. For every plan of Yahuwah shall be established against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a ruin without inhabitants. What you're seeing is the beginning of the demise of this country that has called itself great. You hear what the president is saying. He's been wanting to make America great again. Well, as he's saying all of that out of his mouth, Yahuwah says it's not going to happen. He is going to destroy Babylon again. He's going to destroy it, and she will never be inhabited again. We are all witnesses to this right now. Verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have ceased to fight. They remained in their strongholds. You see that? They're going to become cowards. If you have a family member in the military, please find a way to get them out of there. If they have to go AWOL, if they get what do you call it? A dishonorable discharge. Whatever they got to do, it's time for them to get out, because the U.S. military is Satan's tool. He's been using it for 250 years to create this new world order. Tell your people to get out. Stop sending your children into the military. Stop it. They are becoming a tool for Satan. Their might has failed. They became like women. They have burned her dwelling places. The bars of her gate have been broken. One runner runs to meet another, and one reporter to meet another, to report to the sovereign of Babel, to the king, the leader of Babylon, that his city is taken on all sides, and the fords have been captured, and they have burned the reeds with fire, and the soldiers are startled. For thus said Yahuwah of hosts, the mighty one of Yasharal. Notice that. It doesn't say the mighty one of the Christians. It doesn't say the mighty ones of the Chinese or the mighty one of the Russians. No, it says the mighty one of Yasharal. The daughter of Babylon. There it is again. The daughter of Babylon. This isn't the original Babylon. It's like a threshing floor at the time that it is trodden. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. What harvest? When she shall be plundered, when she shall be destroyed and burned with fire. Nebuchadnezzar, the sovereign of Babylon, has devoured us. He has crushed us. He has made us an empty vessel. He has swallowed us up like a monster. He has filled his stomach with my delicacies and has driven us away. Let the violence done to me and my flesh be upon Babylon. This is why in the book of Revelation, it says to those who are in heaven, what did it say? Again, rejoice over her, O heaven, and you set apart emissaries and prophets. For Alua Elohim has completely avenged you on her. That's what's going on right now. Where was I at here? I done lost my spot. Hold on one second. Oh, here we are. Verse 35, let the violence done to me and my flesh be upon Babylon. Say the inhabitants of Zion, and let my blood be upon the inhabitants of the Chaldeans, says Yerushalayim, Jerusalem. Who is Jerusalem? We are. Therefore, thus says Yahuah, see, I am pleading your case. Again, whose case? Jerusalem's case. And who's Jerusalem? His saints, the Kadashim. And I shall take vengeance for you and dry up her sea and make her fountain dry. This is what's happening. And Babylon shall become a heap, a habitation of jackals, an astonishment, and a hissing without inhabitants. Together they roar like lions. They shall growl like lion cubs. In their heat I prepare their feasts, and I shall make them drunk, so that they rejoice and sleep a never-ending sleep and not awake, declares Yahuah. The rest of us are awakening up, but most of these people are not waking up. They're going to continue on with their folly of Christianity. They're going to continue following down the road of Islam. They're going to continue to do their Eastern mysticism and their beliefs of philosophy of Buddhism and Taoism and Confucianism. They're all drunk. They're lost. He says that he has counted them as spittle, as spit. They are nothing to him because their hearts are not for him. They don't want to know who he is. They want to continue on with the traditions of men. I shall bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with male goats. Oh, how Shishak has been captured. The praise of all the earth been seized. This again is talking about Babylon. How Babylon has become a ruin amongst the nations, amongst the other countries. The sea has risen over Babylon. She has been covered with the roaring of the waves. Her cities, plural, have become a ruin, a dry land and a desert, a land where no one dwells, neither does son of man pass by it. And I shall punish Baal of Babylon, the Lord Baal of Babylon, and I shall make him spew out what he has swallowed, and the nations shall no longer stream to him. Even the wall of Babylon shall fall. Her protection shall fall. What does it say here about them streaming to him? All these so-called, as they like to call them, illegal immigrants. Oh, they're not going to be streaming over here no more. Who wants to come over here when they see the destruction that's getting ready to happen? They're like, oh, no, I don't want to go to America. Oh, no, you go over there. They can't pay me to go to America. That's what's going to be heard here very soon. Nobody's going to be, they don't have to worry about anyone trying to cross over the Rio Grande River. Ain't nobody going to be trying to do that anymore because they see the judgment that's about to come upon this land. Come out of her, come out of the midst of her, my people. Does that not sound like Revelation 18:4? Come out of her, my people. And let everyone deliver his being from the burning displeasure of Yahuah. And lest your heart grow faint, and you fear the report heard in the land, for a report shall come in 1 year, and after that in another year, a report shall come, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. This is war. This is war. This is what we're seeing right now. Therefore, see, the days are coming, verse 47, that I shall bring punishment on the carved images of Babylon, and all her land shall be put to shame, and all her slain shall fall. I don't know who can help you. May Yahuah help you. May he open your eyes to see what this passage is telling us. If you have idols that you are worshiping, football jerseys, basketball jerseys, teams, anything that you have made an idol in your heart, you better get it out. You better get rid of it. You better separate yourself from Babylon. Because Abba Yahuah is going to count you with the non-believers. No matter how much knowledge you got, no matter how much you read the Bible, no matter that you know his name is Yahuah Yahusha, you're going to be counted amongst those who are going to be lost. Because you would not remove the unclean thing out of your heart. Be it pornography, be it drugs, be it too much drinking. He's going to get you. All of these signs that are happening right now is for you and me. It's not for the non-believers. These signs are for you and me, for the children of Yasharal and the children of Yehudah and those who will be grafted in with them. It's for you and me, native born and those who have been adopted in. Because he has given you the understanding. He has awakened you. Far be it from us to go back. Far be it for us to go back after he opened our eyes to this truth, for us to once again become like the Babylonians, to become like the Romans, to become like the Americans. You don't deserve Yahuah. And Yahuah will refuse you. He will say, depart from me. He don't even know you. You will disgust him. He will spew you out of his mouth. Your name will not be upon his lips. Is that what you want? Because you're allowing some type of a habit or some type of an idol that is so entrenched in your heart and has gotten and taken root in your heart that you don't want to pluck it up by the roots and remove it out of you? Is it that serious? Do you love it that much? You love it more than you love Yahuah? This is what these 7 days of unleavened bread was all about. For us to search our heart of any leaven. All of this is happening right now for us, this generation. We have been accounted to be one of the Baruch ones. And notice how it says in verse 46 that the report shall come in 1 year and after that in another year. This ain't the first time you've heard this. This ain't the first time that you hear of all these other countries that are getting upset with the United States. Look at, again, some of you probably don't follow this, okay? I follow this because, again, this is one of the commandments that the Messiah told us to watch and palal. What are we watching for? We're watching for the signs. Why? Because we are watchmen. We are to tell our brothers and sisters, look out. Here's the warning. Yahuah is telling us, he's telling you to wake up. One of those is the BRIC nations. BRICS. It's an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. That's what it started as, BRICS. But now there's all these other countries that are lining up with BRICS. And why has BRICS been formed? Because it's going against Babylon. The petrodollar, the US dollar, the greenback. Who's in control of the petrodollar and the greenback? The Jewish people. They're the ones who have the Federal Reserve. They're the ones who have the central banks. They're the ones who are controlling the commerce of the earth. And any country who don't want to line up with their so-called greenback, their petrodollar, they go to war with them. This is what you're seeing. And so this is what you're hearing. The report shall come 1 year, and after that in another year a report shall come, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. That's what's going on. Therefore, see, the days are coming that I shall bring punishment on the carved images of Babylon, and all her land shall be put to shame, and all her slain shall fall in the mist. And the Shamaim and the Arats, the heavens and the earth, and all that is in them shall shout for joy over Babylon. For the ravagers shall come to her from the north, declares Yahuah, as Babylon is to fall for the slain of Yasharal. It's not going to fall for Chinese. It's not going to fall for the Japanese. It's not going to fall for the South American countries. It's not going to fall for any of the European countries. It's not going to fall for any of the African countries. It has to only do with Yasharal. It's been about Yasharal, Israel. And again, we're not talking about those people who've been calling themselves the state of Israel or Israelis. These are imposters. He's doing this for Israel. So for Babylon, the slain of all the earth shall fall. You who have escaped the sword, go away. Do not stand still. Remember Yahuah from afar, and let Yahushalom come to your heart. Let it come back to your mind. Why Jerusalem? I was speaking to an Aki. I don't know if he's here today. He knows who I'm talking about as I shared this little story that him and I have been going back and forth about Jerusalem. As many of you have known, I told you about this revelation that was given to me by Yahuah, by the Spirit, about how we've been keeping time and how we've been using man-made international dateline and how we've been saying that New Zealand and Australia are at the beginning of the so-called day, and everybody else follows after New Zealand and Australia as it goes west. That's a man-made construct. And so this brother says, show me a passage anywhere in scripture that says that time and calendar has to come from Jerusalem. I can't show you that because it doesn't say that. But if you're looking at all the stuff that is being told to us through scripture, you know that Jerusalem is the capital of the earth. And if that's the capital of the earth, then you know that everything that is coming from Jerusalem is the beginning of everything that Yahuah is going to do. It ain't going to be in Beijing, China. It's not going to be in Tokyo, Japan. It's not going to be over there in Austria. It's not going to be in Sydney, Australia. It's Jerusalem. That's where he says that he is going to place his temple. The appointed times start from Jerusalem. There's no Levitical priesthood over there in Timbuktu. There's nobody over there in Calcutta, India. No, the temple is going to be in Jerusalem, and it's going to go forth from Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the head of where everything is going to go forth. The law and the Torah is going to go forth from Jerusalem. I don't know what else to tell anybody if you can't see that. Go and look into it. Look into it. If you're seeking for me to get that final approval that, oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Aki Jimmy. No, it's not from me. You need to bow your knee and you need to go to the source. I'm just a resource talking to you about the source. And the source says that it's going to go forth from Jerusalem. Every appointed time has to do with the priesthood. Why? Because he gave it to the priesthood to tell the people this is when these appointed times are to be. And the children of Yasharal were to follow the Levitical priesthood when they said to blow the shofar, this is the time of appointment, this is the time of the gathering, this is the time to assemble. And so wherever Zion is, which is a people, be it in the wilderness, like they were when they came out of Egypt, Yahuah was with them. The tabernacle was with them. So while they're in the wilderness, they're going to keep everything according to what Yahuah said because it was for them. It's not for nobody else on the earth. It's not for nobody else. You want to keep the international dateline according to man? You go ahead. That's for the Gentiles. That has nothing to do with the children of Yasharal. The children of Yasharal understand that everything goes forth from Jerusalem. You who have escaped the sword, go away. Do not stand still. Remember Yahuah from afar and let Yerushalayim come to your heart. We are ashamed because we have heard reproach. Shame has covered our faces, for strangers have come into the set-apart place of the house of Yahuah. Who are the strangers? Who are these foreigners? Who are these Gentiles that have come into the set-apart places, plural, of the house of Yahuah? These are the teachings of the Gentiles. Just like that was promised about the barakah, the blessings and the cursing of Deuteronomy chapter 28. What does it say there? You see, people read chapter 28 and they don't, but it's telling you right there that you're going to be given over to Islam and to Christianity, even before those two religions even existed. Verse 64. And Yahuah shall scatter you among all the peoples from one end of the Arats to the other, and there you shall serve other mighty ones, and there you shall serve other mighty ones that you nor your fathers have known. This is a whole new religion. Abraham didn't know this religion. Isaac had no clue of this religion. Jacob had no clue of this religion. The 12 sons of Jacob and the 12 tribes of Israel had no clue of this religion or these religions. And this is what's happened. Wood and stone. The wooden cross and the copper stone. When we were sent into this nation, where we have been scattered, we took upon their belief system. They twisted the scriptures. They gave us their understanding and their definition of what it meant to be a so-called Christian or a so-called Muslim. It's right here. He was telling us before it was going to happen, but only those who can see, only those who can hear. It's right in our face. And we've all took it. We took the bait, hook, line, and sinker, because it was taught to us by our ancestors, by our parents, and our parents learned it from their parents. And so it goes all the way down like a domino effect, because this was part of the curse for being disobedient. You want to be like the Gentiles? I'm going to give you over to the Gentiles. You're going to believe in their deities. You're going to believe in their mighty ones. You're going to take what I've given you, and they're going to twist what I've given you, and you're going to follow their doctrine of what I've given you. And this is why you see so many of our people who love them some Jesus Christ. And you try to tell them the name, and they don't want to come out of it because they love Jesus Christ. They drink the wine. They're drunk. They love the name Jesus. They love to praise Zeus. And so, yes, many peoples are going to be covering their faces in shame when they realize on that day of judgment, I thought I was worshiping you. I thought we did all these things in your name, casting out demons in your name and doing all these mighty works in your name and prophesying in your name. That's not my name. I told you my name and you wouldn't accept it. You spat on my name and say that you speak another language because you don't speak Hebrew. You're not going to call me by my name. I gave you the name. And yet you say you love you some Jesus. Nobody was going around first century Palestine calling the Messiah Jesus or Jesus. That is a historical fact. There was no letter J, and there was no one calling him Jesus or Iesus, as they say in the Greek, because he was born to some Hebrews. He came to some Hebrews. He spoke Hebrew, not Aramaic. Stop letting these Greek Hellenized pastors and preachers and teachers who went to a seminary school who wasn't even around at that time telling you, oh, no, Jesus spoke Aramaic. I guess Jesus did, but not Yahushua. The creator of heaven and earth, Yahushua, did not speak Aramaic to his people. These people spoke Hebrew. The Apostle Paul spoke Hebrew. You can read about it in the book of Acts, chapter 24. Peter, he was a fisherman. He wasn't well learned, well trained in their so-called schools. He spoke Hebrew. Andrew, Simon, they all spoke Hebrew. They were fishermen. They weren't educated men. Verse 51, we are ashamed because we have heard reproach. Shame has covered our faces, for strangers have come into the set apart places of the house of Yahuah. Therefore, see, the days are coming. Here it goes again. This is a future. It's telling you about prophecy. Therefore, see, the days are coming, declares Yahuah, that I shall bring punishment on her carved images. Oh, you mean like the pagan cross? The one that everybody has on their neck, calling themselves Christians, while the wounded groan throughout all her land. Who's her land? The Babylonians' land. Her. Though Babylon should mount up to the heavens, and though she should make the height of her strength inaccessible, ravagers shall come to her from me. Who's going to come? Ravagers, plural, shall come to her, to Babylon, to the United Snakes of America from Yahuah. Notice what they did, lying to the whole world, talking about how they just made a trip all the way to the dark side of the moon and back. They mounted up into the heavens. They mounted themselves up to the heavens. Though Babylon should mount up to the heavens, and though she should make the height of her strength inaccessible, meaning that you can't understand what they're doing because they're lying to you. Everything is a Hollywood production. But you can't see it just because you see it on the boob tube, you think it's true. Just because a politician says that they're a Christian, you think they're true. Just because you think that they all believe in the so-called Jesus of the Christ, you think they're true. These are liars. They're imposters. And they've lied to us. They deceived us. They are the people of Satan. They're the followers of Satan. This is exactly what Satan says. Though, well, how did he say it? He said, he shall mount up to the heights of the Shamaim in the congregations of the north. Isaiah chapter 14. He says, he shall ascend. And this is exactly what Babylon is doing the same. We shall ascend. '54. Listen, Shama. A cry from Babylon, and a great destruction from the land of the Chassidim, because Yahuah is ravaging Babylon. He's going to ravage this place. We ain't seen nothing yet. Those markets, oh, they're going to be empty shelves pretty soon. Your gas prices, oh, they're going to go through the roof. We ain't seen nothing yet. All those things of you taking your children to soccer practices and choir practices and doing your Sunday worship and your Wednesday worships, all that's about to cease. All of that's about to cease. And shall silence her loud voice. Silence whose loud voice? Babylon's loud voice. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all these social media news reports that go out to the rest of the earth. Every time the United Snakes speak, they're playing it in all these other countries. Why? Because they have so much influence on all these other little countries. But she's going to be silenced because Yahuah is going to do it. And her waves shall roar like great waters. The noise of their voices shall resound. Because the ravager shall come against her, against Babylon, and her mighty men shall be captured. Again, the military, the U.S. so-called mighty military, the hammer of the earth, is about to get destroyed. Every one of their bows shall be broken. All of their military equipment shall be useless, for Yahuah is the mighty of recompense. He shall certainly repay. He is the revenger. And I shall make her rulers drunk. Notice what Yahuah is saying. He's going to make their rulers drunk, and her wise men, and her governors, and her deputies, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a lasting sleep and not awake. They're not going to wake up. They're going to continue to do what it is because Yahuah done made them stir crazy. Yahuah has made them crazy. He's given them over to a reprobate mind, a debased mind. And I shall make her rulers drunk, and her wise men, and her governors, and her deputies, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a lasting sleep and not awake, declares the sovereign, whose name is Yahuah of hosts. Again, not Jehovah, not Yahweh. Thus said Yahuah of hosts, the broad walls of Babel are completely demolished, and her high gates are burned with fire, and peoples. Let me bring this back up. And the peoples labor in vain, and the nations weary themselves for fire. The word that Yirmiyahu the prophet commanded Sariah, son of Nariah, son of Masaiah, when he went to Zedekiah, the sovereign of Yehudah, to Babylon, in the 4th year of his reign. And Sariah was a quartermaster. So Yirmiyahu wrote in a book all the evil that would come upon Babylon, all these words that have been written concerning Babylon. This, my brothers and sisters, is what we're seeing. This is what we just read from Isaiah chapter 21 to Jeremiah chapters 50 and 51. When Yahuah gave this to me this morning, and I started reading it, it was like I was watching the news. All these things started flooding to my memory. I started noticing how it's connecting to the book of Revelations, chapter 17, 18, and 19, about Babylon, this mystery Babylon, and how she is going to be destroyed, this kingdom of all the other nations, the queen of all kingdoms. And you know, most of us live here. We need to thank our Abba Yahuah that our eyes and our hearts have been opened, Mishpachah family. There are so many people who are so lost. They think they know the truth because they think that Christianity is the true doctrine, just like many of us thought that Christianity was the true doctrine. And when he opened our eyes, we realized that we was in the enemy's camp. We realized we needed to get out. We needed to escape. We need not to look back. And we needed our Abba Yahuah's voice to be heard in our hearts once again, to teach us the truth. Because everything that we've been taught, we was under a spell. We was under a spell. There's a lot of things in Christianity that lines up with the truth. But all it takes is that little bit of deception to twist it up, just like it happened in the Garden of Eden with our first parents, Adam and Yahuah. Satan just didn't bring a whole new doctrine to Adam and Yahuah. No, he intermingled what Yahuah said and what he added. You shall not certainly die. For Yahuah knows that the day that you eat of this tree, you will be just like him, knowing righteousness and evil. The only part of that whole part that he said, that he lied about, was that you shall not certainly die. But as far as being like Yahuah, knowing the difference between right and wrong, yeah, that's true. That's true. And this is why no one, not a person, is going to have, no one's going to have an excuse on that day why they didn't follow these instructions. The only ones who won't hear this truth is because they've already settled it in their heart that they have received the true doctrine. And that's why they're going to be in trouble on that day. Because they're professing to be Christians. They're professing to be Muslims. They're professing to be all these other religions. They are not under the agreement. They're not under the bond of the contract while we are in this wilderness amongst the nations of the peoples. This is why I told you all, and I'm going to share it again. If you're looking for a second Exodus, that we're going to be gathered up during the Great Tribulation, you have been fooled and someone done lied to you. We are in the wilderness right now. We've been in the wilderness. You were born in the wilderness. What we have to look forward to now is to enter into the promised land. But not all of us are going to enter in because of disobedience, just like our ancestors, because they would not bow the knee to Yahuah. They would not obey him, and they want to dance around the golden calf. Now, let me take you back to what we read earlier in Isaiah chapter 21. I believe that's where it was. Let me check. Let me make sure here. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, no. It was Jeremiah chapter 50. I want to show you guys something. This is another thing that Yahuah had me look into while I was looking at this. So right here, remember who was reading this? Verse 2, declare among the nations, and let it be heard, and lift up a banner. Let it be heard, and do not conceal it. So something has to be revealed, because something here is a mystery. What is it? Here it is. Say, Babylon shall be taken. Baal, which we know is another word for Lord, shall be put to shame. Merodach, who is Merodach, shall be broken. Let me show you who Merodach is. I'm going to show you. Give me a second. Who is... Oh, let me back up. Who is Merodach? Who is Merodach? A.K.A. Merodach Marduk, or Bel Marduk. Let me see if I can find some information here for you. That's JW. We don't want to go JW. So here, Merodach, apparently a syncopated form of, let me blow that up a little more. Occurs in Jeremiah 50 verse 2, that's where I just read from, in such connections with idols as to leave no doubt that it is the name of a Babylonian god in conformity with general character of, let's pop that open here. Hold on, let me go to, let's change this to Marduk. M-A-R-D-U-K. I want y'all to see this. Here we go. This is what I wanted to see. Marduk is the patron god of Babylon in ancient Mesopotamia. Mythology associated with creation. He's the god of creation, justice, water, agriculture, magic, and medicine. Medicine? He is known for defeating the chaos, Goddes, Tiamat, and is often depicted as a powerful figure in royal robes, symbolizing his status as the king of all the goddesses, right? Okay, let me show you an image of what he looks like. I'm sure some of you have seen this before. This thing right here. You've ever seen this? Here's a full body one. You see this? You see that? That's Marduk. You got 4 wings, right? This is who we're talking about. All right? Now, remember what it said here about medicine? Remember we was just reading about medicine down here? You see that medicine right there? All right? Marduk. Yeah? Let me show you this. And let me see. I don't know if they're going to show this here or speak of it. Let me see if they find it here or if I can find it. Associated with power, worship temples. Okay. Marduk down here. Marduk was primarily worshipped in Babylon, particularly in the, I don't even know how to say that, temple, and was a significant religious site. His influence extended beyond Babylon as he was later equated with other major deities such as the Greek Zeus and the Roman Jupiter. Okay, Marduk's legacy continues to be a vital part of the understanding of ancient Mesopotamian religion and culture. Now, Marduk has to do with a bull, Bull, a bull, okay? Remember how it says here that he has medicine? He has medicine, that he also is the mighty one of medicine right here. Let me show you something. Let me, I can't remember how to spell it. Let me see. I made a note of this. I'm going to show you guys. Novo. There we go. Nordisk. Have you guys ever heard of Novo Nordisk? It's a pharmaceutical company. You ever heard of them? Yes, Baal is a bull. Yes. Do you see this? This is Novo Nordisk. This is a bull. And that right there is a sun, S-U-N. This is the image of Marduk in medicine. Baal Marduk. They put this stuff in our face constantly. These people have been teaching us all the ways of the Babylonians. This Marduk character, again, as is showing us here in Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 2, declare among the nations, and let it be heard, and lift up a banner, let it be heard, and do not conceal it. This is what I'm doing. I'm unsealing what has been concealed, according to the commandment of Yahuah, that we have been worshiping Baal Marduk through all kinds of ways, just not belief systems like Jesus, but also through medicine. This stuff is permeating through our society. All of her images shall be put to shame. People, again, I feel like it's an urgency to talk about these things these days. People say, why are you so hard on Christianity? Because Christianity was hard on us. Christianity has lied to us. Once you understand that the Messiah didn't teach us Christianity, you're going to understand who you are. And you're going to understand what you are supposed to do before Abba Yahuah. You're going to know that you are to keep the commandments and you are to follow the Messiah according to his teachings, not according to the doctrine of Christianity, but according to the doctrine as he gave it to us in Matthew, in Mark, and in Luke, and in John. Not the catechism, not somebody's so-called, what do you call it? What do they call those things that they be doing these days? I can't even think of it right now. But it's pretty much their understanding of the scriptures. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about understanding what he has given us by his spirit. Many of us are still sleeping. You haven't woken up yet. We have to wake up. out of this perpetual sleep. Remember what it says in Matthew chapter 25. We have some people that came through, Aki?
Yes.
Oh, okay, who came?
Tawanya and Cody Jasmine.
Oh, they're here.
Yes.
Okay. Cody Tanya hasn't showed up yet, huh? Okay. Matthew 25. Many of you have read these passages before, but I want you to understand what is happening here. This is about the 10 virgins. Then the reign or the kingdom of the heavens shall be compared to 10 virgins, 10 maidens, who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. We know who the bridegroom is, the Messiah. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. Those who were foolish, having taken their lamps, took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their containers with their lamps. Now, while the bridegroom took time, because the bridegroom, our Messiah, Yahushua, he went away. He ascended back up into the heavens. We're still waiting for him to return. They, all 10 virgins, slumbered and slept. And at midnight, that means in pitch black darkness, when evil is at its highest, some of us call it the witching hour, right? A cry was heard. An alarm went off. See, the bridegroom is coming. Go out and meet him. Then all those virgins rose up and trimmed their lamps. And the 5 foolish said to the wise, give us of your oil, because our lamps are going out. So what are we being told here? The 5 foolish ones, they had no oil. They had no anointing. How do you anoint somebody? You anoint them with oil. What does it mean to anoint someone? It means that they were chosen. This is what happened with our Messiah, King David as well. We are to anoint one another with oil after being immersed. So this oil is very important. It's very precious. So what's happening? Some people did not wake up. They're still asleep. They're walking in darkness because they don't have no oil for their lamps. This is the same thing that the Messiah said about the 5 wise and the 5 foolish. Let's go here to Matthew, same book. Chapter 7, verse 24, therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them shall be likened as a wise man, a wise virgin who built their house on the rock. And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew. This is tribulation. These are trials. And beat on that house. You are that house. And it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. You're one of the 5 wise virgins. If this is you, if you listen to the teachings of the Messiah, because again, who hears the words of mine and does them. This is where Christianity then fell off. Christians are not doing his words. They say that the commandments have been done away with. So they literally put aside the words of the Messiah and say, we don't keep those anymore. But the Messiah says you're to do them. He says, if you love me, keep my commandments. But Christianity says, no, if you love him, just profess him with your mouth and believe in your heart, and now you're saved. According to Romans chapter 10, verses 9 and 10. But that's just a prerequisite. That's just the foundation of starting this walk with Yahuah. And so it goes on and says, and everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them, that's the opposite, shall be like a foolish man, a foolish virgin. You're one of those foolish ones, the 5 foolish virgins that did not wake up properly. You built your house on the sand. You built it on Christian doctrine, Christian belief. And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and they beat on your house, and you fell. How did you fall? Because you're going to take the truth. You're going to take the false and not the truth. You're going to take the mark of the beast. And some of you already have in your mind and in your hand. Some of you are already rocking the image of the beast called the cross. Some of you already have the name of the beast in your heart called Jesus. You and I have been fed a Roman doctrine called Christianity. It is the government, the empire's religion, Christianity. This is why they call it the Holy Roman Empire. They took the Bible and they made it their own. And this is what we're all being taught in all these thousands of denominations called Christianity. And you're all calling on the name of the beast, Jesus, and you all are following and worshiping the image, the cross. You are already in the beast system. You are waiting for something that is already here. You were born in it. We were all born in it. So great was its fall. That's the 5 foolish virgins. If you continue to read, you see it right here. And the foolish said to the wise, give us of your oil, because our lamps are going out. You know why? Because they didn't have a true relationship with the Messiah. They had a fake relationship with a person named Jesus Christ. But the wise answered and said, no, indeed, there would not be enough for us and you. Instead, go to those who sell and buy for yourselves. Exactly, because you always want everything to be easy. Why don't you go to your prosperity teachers and preachers and buy it? Like Simon the sorcerer. How much does it cost? I want that same power from the Spirit. And that's what many of you are doing. Buying the latest and greatest of this and taking the 7 steps of faith and buying this CD or taking this program that somebody has said and you're listening to these people who have no idea of the truth and they're not even under the agreement because they're not even in the agreement. What they're teaching you is replacement theology, saying that they are the people of the book, saying that you have to become a Christian when a Christian has to become an Israelite. And not an Israelite becoming a Christian. They got it all twisted. They got the whole game messed up. You must become an Israelite, not a Christian. There is no Christian gate in the 12 gates going into Jerusalem. Go read it for yourself. There is no church gate. There is no Jesus gate. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. Yahushua came. The second coming happened. And those who were ready went in with him to the wedding feast. And the door was shut. And later the other maidens, the foolish ones, they also came saying, Master, Master, open up for us. But he answered and said to them, Amat, truly I say to you, I do not know you. What? He says, I don't know you. So then he gives us the commandment in verse 13, watch therefore, because you do not know the day nor the hour in that when the Son of Adam is coming, the second coming. Why does this part here in verse 12 sound so familiar? I say to you, I do not know you. Well, if you go to the same book, Matthew chapter 7, and all the Besoras, I love this the best. Matthew. Notice what it says here in chapter 7, verse 21. Not everyone who says to me, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. It's talking about the 5 foolish virgins. But he who is doing the desire of my Father in the heavens. He's talking about the 5 wise virgins. Many shall say to me in that day, talking about the 5 foolish virgins, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in your name? Notice what I got underlined. Your name, you know him as Jesus, right? Cast out demons in your name, you know him as Jesus, right? And done many mighty works in your name, you know him as Jesus, right? And then I shall declare to them, who's this? The 5 foolish virgins who are calling him by the name Jesus and are not following his commandments because Jesus tells them that the commandments have been nailed to the cross. I never knew you. Same thing he said here in Matthew chapter 25, verse 12. I say to you, I do not know you. What does he say here? And then I shall declare to them, I never knew you. Never knew you. He never knew you. Never. Not even when you said the so-called sinner's prayer. Not even when you went up to that fake altar that the pastor told you to come down here and give your life to Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. He never knew you. Why? Because you was taught a lying doctrine, a doctrine of demons that was given to you by Satan. It wasn't given to you by Yahushua. And so he says, depart from me, you who work lawlessness, the same ones who are telling you, we don't have to keep the law. The law's been done away with. So you have literally put yourself in the position of being told that you're one of the goats on the left-hand side. Depart from me. I never knew you. Why? Because you ain't keeping the commandments. And you're saying, oh, well, Galatians chapter 3 says, you've taken Galatians chapter 3 and you misunderstood it and you twisted and perverted the words of Shaul, who you call Paul. Paul never said that the law was done away with. He says that you can't be justified by the law. He didn't say that the law was done away with. Let me show you, because some of you think I'm lying. Romans chapter 3, verse 31. What does it say here? Do we then nullify the law, the Torah, through our faith? Let it not be. On the contrary, just the opposite, the total opposite. We established the law. Uh-oh. What you going to do with that, Christians? As my Akiya would say, you're going to do some verbal gymnastics on that one and stick the landing, the dismount, and say, see, we don't have to do it. The Apostle Paul says you need to do it. We established the law. And just in case you think that that might have been a misprint, let's go to Romans chapter 7, verse 7. What did he say there in Romans chapter 7, verse 7? What did he say here? What then shall we say? Is the law sin? Well, apparently to Christians it is. Oh, you trying to keep the law? Oh, that's legalism. He says, let it not be. However, I did not know sin except through the law. For also covetousness, I knew not if the law had not said you shall not covet. That's the 10th commandment, by the way, for those of you who are keeping count. And then what does he say here in verse 12? If the law was so evil and wicked as Christians would have us to believe, why did the apostle Shaul, aka Paul, say this in verse 12? So that the law truly is set apart. Yours would say that pagan word holy. And the commandment set apart. Again, yours will say that pagan word holy and righteous and pure. So which one is it? Is the law done away with? Apparently not. Not even according to Paul. Let me show you. Let me give you that. Where's my King Jimmy? Oh, there it is. Oh, you know what? This is why I got this seat, because it's nice and cushy. Thank you, Huck. When I got it was because I was sitting down there on those the stools down there. You know how thin the things are, cutting off blood circulation. Yes. Okay, so let me show y'all this. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. That is in the New Testament. And where is it here? Hold on one second. Because I have photographic memory, I got to go back and look at it in my other book. Excuse me. Chapter 7, and that is verse 19. 7:19. Let's read this. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 19. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing. But, there's the big word, but the keeping of the commandments of God. That's what matters. Let me read that to you in the scriptures. Verse 19, the circumcision is nothing. The uncircumcision is nothing, but the guarding of the commands of Yahuah Elohim does matter. It does matter. Why are we being told that the Apostle Paul was teaching that you're not to keep the commandments? Who done bewitched you, O Galatians? Who done told you, O Christians, that you ain't supposed to be keeping the commandments of Yahuah Elohim? Who told you that you don't have to keep the Sabbath day anymore? Who told you that you can make any day your Sabbath? Who made you the creator to say, I'm going to change the Sabbath day? Who told you that you can eat anything under the sun because you can put it in your mouth and chew on it and consume it into your gut when he says you are not to eat these certain things out of Leviticus chapter 11? Who told you this? It was the Christian church that told you this. They're telling you to be disobedient. And yet the whole time we're being told obedience is key. Obedience is better than sacrifice. But you just let that come in one ear and out the other, and you're just saying these things in Christendom, but you're not listening. Your obedience is to man and not to the creator. That's why you're doing all these things aside from what the creator has told you. You have made the commandments of Yahuah to no avail because you are following the commandments of man, just like the Pharisees and Sadducees. So you guys are all modern day Pharisees and Sadducees who call yourselves Christians and have done away with the law. Now, if I'm lying, then I guess I'll be frying. But I'm showing you verbiage and scripture after scripture, passage after passage about how the law is clean, is pure, and you're to follow it. It's been the same from Genesis to Revelation and also in the Apocryphas. They tell you right there, keep the commandments. But no, we don't want to keep the commandments. No, we're going to do like the Romans do. The Romans say you don't have to keep the commandments. We're going to do Valentine's Day. Would you be my Valentine? We're going to keep Thanksgiving. And we're not going to keep the Day of Atonement. Far be it from us to fast ourselves with food and water. No, we're going to eat us some turkey and some ham. You're going to eat that nasty swine and call yourself a believer. You're a believer in the Roman way is what you are. That's what you are. You're not a believer in the Messiah. You're a believer in the Roman Christ. They're the ones who gave you that blonde hair, blue-eyed image. The image of the beast. Every time someone says Jesus to you, that's the image that comes right up in your head. Long-haired hippie. Because that's what they instilled it into you. Even in my Korean side of my family. Okay, you know what Koreans look like? They got the slanted eyes, the very pale skin, right? Dark hair, right? Go into their Christian churches and see what's hanging on their walls. Go into a black church, a AME, a African Methodist Episcopalian church, and see what you see up in there. You're going to see a blonde hair, blue-eyed image. The whole world has followed this image of the beast. They even got you believing that the Shroud of Turin is real. And it's got a picture of a European long-nosed, hippie-haired who we're being told and is being sold to us as this is the shroud of the Messiah or the Christ, as they say it. This was his burial cloth. And they're doing all this carbon dating and all this stuff and got people over here looking at this thing and like, see, this is what Jesus looked like. I guess Jesus does look like that, but not Yahusha, not the one who came as a lamb, not the one who has afro, not the one who has a broad nose and big lips. No, you don't want that kind of an image of a Messiah. No, you want one that looks nice. You want one that permeates what you know as what's supposed to be considered handsome and beautiful. Just like you see in all your magazines. The lighter, the better. White is right, black is wrong. This is the world that we live in. I'm not going to sugarcoat this because you want your feelings to be taken care of because you a snowflake. Maybe you'll believe it if Tucker Carlson says it. Maybe one day he might actually wonder and realize, you know what? All this time I thought Jesus was white. I come to find out he's black. Maybe Tucker Carlson will say that one day. Or maybe even Candace Owens, who's a black woman, who's following Catholicism, don't even know what she's doing. She's slowly waking up. She's realizing that these Jewish people ain't the true Jews. Maybe she might listen to Kanye West, who she calls her friend, and maybe she'll learn something from Kanye, even though Kanye may be a little bit out there, but he's starting to understand a little bit, even though he's still using the pagan names of Jesus and the Christ and God and Lord. Many of you have put the puzzle pieces together. These other people, they're only seeing glimpses of it. Many of you are seeing the full picture. As I say, it don't matter about your paint job. It ain't about your color. It's about the truth. It's about historical record. And the historical record is telling us how he came and what he came as and what he wants us to be and how we're to follow him. And what you have been fed and what I have been fed from Christendom, from the Roman Empire, is a lie. It's a lie. Time is running out. Time is literally running out. Again, any of you who think you ain't supposed to keep the commandments, if you don't want to believe in the Messiah's words and you take Paul's words over the Messiah's words, well, then read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 19. You see what I have underlined in red? But guarding the commandments of Yahuah Elohim, that's what matters. You can get circumcised all you want in the flesh, trying to keep the law, aside from the Messiah. But you're gonna be done. You're gonna come up short. Because the law can't save nobody. But you're to keep it. It's the Messiah who saves. It's the shedding of his blood that saves you. Because he had to shed that so all of your transgressions, when you broke the law, may be covered, just like it was before he came. The shedding of bulls and goats and lambs was the way that the children of Yasharal cleansed themselves from any transgressions that they broke of the law. The Messiah came to do it once and for all, so we don't have to unalive lambs, bulls, and goats anymore. So he removed what was originally given to us until the one who was supposed to come would make it final by his blood that speaks more than Abel's. I hope this message helped you today. We're getting ready to go down here because it's getting close to the time for us to get ready to partake of the Matsuh. If you're one of these people that have heard this today, and you're here for the first time, and what I've shared with you and showing you through passages and passages of scripture that we're to keep the commandments, that we're to wake up and be these 5 wise virgins and not the 5 foolish ones, that we are to do his word and not just be hearers only. If that's you, give me a 7. If what I've shared with you has opened your eyes, give me a 7. Exactly, Cody Stella. Al Abba, I see you. Amuna, I see you. Debbie, I see you. Nicole, I see you. RC, see you. Jose, I see you. Great to see you here, Aki. Tammy, I see you. Linda, I see you. Milton, I see you as well. D. Derry, you say every time you come in here, you're hearing for the first time. I see you. Miriam, I see you. Michael and Charlie, Mimi. Are you Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish. I am a Yahudi, a Jew, but I'm not Jewish. Jesse, I see you. Michael, I see you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Nero, for being here. The reason why I asked this is because I want you to understand why you see what you see today, and you never saw it before, or you never heard it before. Because in John chapter 6, our Messiah tells us something that is very eye-opening. And I want you to know what has happened with you today, for those of you who gave me a 7. John chapter 6, verses 44 and 45 says this. The Messiah says, "No one is able to come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him or her, and I shall raise him up in the last day. It has been written in the prophets, and they shall all be taught by Yahuah." Notice that, and they shall all be taught by Yahuah. I didn't teach you today. It was the Spirit of our Abba who taught you today. He's the one. It says here, everyone then who has heard, you heard from the Father, and learned from the Father, you come to him. You come to the Messiah. So this is how you hear today what you've heard. Your eyes and your ears of your understanding was opened today by our Father, not by me, not by words that I spoke. He's the one who opened your eyes. He's the one who opened your ears. I want you to understand that. So you need to get on your knees and you need to thank him for opening your eyes and ears of understanding. And if you continue down this road and you allow him to teach you, then know for certain that you've been chosen by him. You know how the passages in Matthew, it says, "For many are called, but a few are chosen." Well, you are one of those few who have been chosen. He didn't say all were called. He said many were called. Not everyone is given the invitation. Those who have been given the invitation, the invite, he's only going to choose a select few of those who have been called. So it makes it even smaller, because he didn't say he chose from the all. He chose from the many. So out of the many, only a few out of the many shall be chosen. This puts us in a classification of our own. This is why we are called the called out ones. We are the kadashim, as it says in Hebrew, in the Hebrew language. Kadashim means the called out ones, the set apart ones. Yahuah has set you apart, placed you apart to come out of the world, to be different. Not to look like the world, not to talk like the world, not to act like the world. No, we're supposed to be placed away from the world, even though we're in the world, even though we work in the world, even though we commerce with the world. But there are certain things that we don't do as the world does. And as the time is ticking, it's going to become more evident to each one of us what we are not to be doing as the world does. Because he's coming back for a bride without spot or blemish. You and I are supposed to be spotless and blameless of this world. This is who he's choosing today in these last days. And it's up to you if you're going to answer that call. It's up to you and me if we're going to be obedient. Obedience is key. If you read the book of Hebrews, again, in the New Testament, that whole book is talking about obedience. It says that it would have been better for that person who knew this truth and did not do it to have never been born than to have tasted the Messiah and to make him into an open spectacle for all what you're doing is once again putting him on the stake and shedding his blood all over again. This we're not to do. We are to walk in the newness of life. We are to die to ourselves daily. It's a daily thing that we need to do. It's not a one-time thing. It's not once saved, always saved. Stop listening to all these people who are giving you these doctrines that are not in Scripture. Nowhere in Scripture are you taught once saved, always saved. What they do is they twist Scripture and say, no one can pluck you out of my hand, and my Father who is greater than I and stronger than I, no one can pluck you out of his hand. So they use a passage like that and say, see, we're once saved, always saved. No, it's not. Because if your heart turns from him, he says he's going to turn from you. Why do you think he says to the 7 assemblies in the book of Revelation, repent? You see, it's because you don't have the understanding of the true concept of what it means to repent. Because you, just like me, and just like many of us, we have a Christian mindset, a Roman Americanized mindset. We don't have a Hebrew mindset that tells us that we're to turn back to the agreement that was made at the foot of Mount Sinai. That's what it means to repent, is to go back to the original agreement. And so the New Testament should be a renewed agreement. It's like you're renewing your vows. You're renewing your marriage vows. You and your wife or you and your husband been married for 10 years, 20 years. And you say, you know what? We're going to renew our vows. Well, that's what the New Testament was. It was a renewing of the vows at Mount Sinai. The only difference is now you don't have to slay lambs, bulls, and goats, because the Messiah unalived himself for us. He laid his life down and he picked it back up. And it's by the shedding of his blood that you are now covered every time you break his commandments. And those commandments is from the Old Testament. I hope what I'm sharing with you is helping some of you. And when you read the word with this understanding, you're going to realize that what we've been taught in Christianity and Christendom has veered away from the truth. And this is why what we read in Isaiah chapter 50, or excuse me, Jeremiah chapter 51, that we have been taught mockery. We were mocking the truth. Made up things. Sound true. Sound like it was the truth, but it was a lie. Anything we want to share with the rest of them? What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down and come back on when we do the Matsuh, because we still got about another hour before the sun goes down.
No, nothing I know about the top.
No. Anything in the comments that we heard or anything that I need to address? Did you see anything?
A Cuddy Angel, hold on quick. I think that's her name. She just has a lot of questions because she just left Christianity. Well, she just started Christianity, and she has a lot of questions, and she's like really confused right now because she's hearing the opposite of what she just got to reading. So
Right.
she says she's over there bawling right now.
And what's her name?
Angel.
Angel. I don't. Angel. Where is Angel? Angel, are you still here? Let's see if she shows up. I don't even know if it's a she. It might be a he. Oh, yes. I see you, Angel. Angel, what is it that you have? Give me one of your questions, or what is it that is confusing you? And yes, like others are saying to you, you're supposed to be here. I don't see. God says the devil will try to trick me. Yes, he done tricked all of us, Angel. Aki Andy, great to see you here, my Ak. It was so wonderful to meet you. Miss you, my Ak.
Glad you made it back safely.
Right? I'm glad you made it back to the other side of the pond, as they would say. Now, I see some of you over here talking about, so I don't know if this is a trick. Okay, so you're saying that what I'm sharing with you, you're wondering if what I'm sharing with you is a trick? So, did you see all the passages that I've showed you? I'm not adding anything to a passage like what I just read for you in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, where we're told to keep the commandments. If you don't want to believe that Christianity is a lie, that's something that you're going to have to look into, because again, just look at what Christianity teaches and see if it lines up with the Messiah. The Messiah in chapter 5 of Matthew says that, do not think that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. Now, Christianity says that the law has been done away with, but the Messiah said that he didn't come here to destroy the law. So who's lying to you? Is it the Messiah and what we're told he said, or is it Christianity? It's that simple. Christianity is lying to us. You can walk into any one of those so-called pagan temples, as I like to call it, that call themselves Christians, a Christian church, and go in there and you'll see that they are not keeping the commandments. They're keeping a form of commandments, and those form of commandments is man-made commandments. They are not Yahuah's commandments. They've changed the commandments, just like it says that would happen in Daniel chapter 7. They changed the time, and they changed the appointed times. Why do you think Christianity follows all these pagan rituals? Why are they doing Christmas when Jeremiah chapter 10 tells you not to do that? Why are they following Ishtar when the Old Testament tells you not to follow Ishtar, which they call Easter today? Why did they change the commandment of the Sabbath and they made a new Sabbath for themselves and they call it Sunday? Why did they change the name that is above all names and told you that you can call upon the name Jesus to be saved, when we've been told that there is no other name? There is no other name. And they're going to change the one name that we was given to another name? Angel, you need to ask yourself a question. What is the name of Buddha? Why is Buddha's name not changed, even though you so-called speak English? Buddha is in English. What about Krishna? Why is Krishna's name still Krishna? Krishna is in English, but they didn't change Krishna. Why do you still call Muhammad Muhammad? Muhammad isn't English, that's Arabic. But they didn't change Muhammad's name. I mean, I can go all the way down the list with Zeus and Jupiter and all these other so-called gods. But the name that is above all name, the one that came and did what he did, and he says, I've come in my Father's name and you do not accept me, but another comes in his own name and you'll accept him. We did exactly that, and now we're following this person called Jesus. And then we're calling him, like you see people here talking about, Lord and God. Those are some more deceptions. Those are words of deception. The word Lord comes from Baal. You can look it up. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 27. It says that we forgot his name for Baal. Verse 27 of Jeremiah chapter 23. Go to any Strong's Concordance or just go right there in Google and type in H1167. That's all you got to put in. H1167, practically in any search engine, and it's going to pull up Baal, also known as Lord. And here we are going around calling him Lord. They removed his name almost 7,000 times out of scripture. Who's calling him Lord but Christians? Why do we call him this generic title, God? And we're not supposed to be calling him that. You're right. You're right. Great to see you here, Cody Victoria. It's so true. When I first came into this truth, I was angry and I was crying. But I felt so liberated. I felt like, wow, I need to tell everybody. And I had anger in me because I hate being lied to. Just like all of you, you don't want to be lied to, especially when you realize you've been deceived. You see, that's the thing about deception. You don't know that you're being deceived until you come out of it. No one ever knows that they're deceived while they're being deceived. No one. It's when you get the revelation that you've been deceived, you look back and you're like, what was I believing? How did I come to believe that? Why did I believe that? And it was because Yahuah allowed our eyes to be shut to the truth until such a time as this. Yes, Mimi, we do not use, no, you're okay. And you spelled his name correctly, Yahuah, and he came down in the flesh as Yahusha. And all this is backed up by evidence. That's his name. What's up, Bob? What does it say? Please, can the content creator please tell me why Yahuah doesn't choose all people? So Ren, you said, can I tell you why Yahuah doesn't choose all people? I can't tell you that, but what my understanding of that is this. It usually has to deal with the heart condition, your heart posture. It's the people who are seeking. They're the ones that find him. If you're not seeking him, which a whole lot of people aren't because they're accepting the status quo, they're not trying to seek the truth. If you are one who is seeking truth, Yahuwah is gonna reveal himself to you. That's his promise. He says that when we seek him with all of our heart, with all of our mind, with all of our strength, then he shall be found. Some of you are doing that, and some of you haven't done that, and he still reveals himself to you. But soon as you come into this truth, guess what you're doing? You're seeking him. Just like what we read earlier. We're to seek out for Zion. And who is Zion? His people. We're seeking the truth. And so he reveals himself to us. And so what seems to be for me, those who don't understand this truth and Yahuwah hasn't chosen them, is because their heart condition is not for him. He loves those who love him. This is why he says, you didn't choose me, I chose you. Because before we were even formed in our mother's womb, he already knew our life. He knows the end from the beginning. He knows what type of a person you are going to be as you came into this world, and you would learn these ways. All he had to do is just show you a little bit, prod you this way, prod you that way, and get you to walk on that straight and narrow path, and you're going to find it. These are the ones that he reveals himself to. So to answer your question, Ren, why does Yahuwah not pick everyone? I don't know, to be honest, other than he's seeking those who love him. I have people in my family. They're staunch, hardcore Christians. I try to tell them about the name. I try to tell them about keeping the commandments, and they shut me down every single time. Now, have I ever done that? Yes, I did it too. I denied keeping the commandments. But here's the thing. I was still searching. I was still looking into the matter. I might not have accepted it right away like some of you. Some of you who are listening to me tonight, you're like, this guy don't know what he's talking about. But guess what? There's a seed that's being planted in you right now. That seed is his word, not my words. It's his word. My words can't do nothing for you. I can't save you, and I can't throw you into the lake of fire. But he who is able to do so, he's the one who's speaking to you. This is why I'm showing you words from his word, hoping that it's going to plant in fertile soil so that it will start to germinate. And then when it starts to grow, it's going to return unto our Abba Yahuah for his name's sake, some 30, 60, 100-fold return, because you're going to go and share this truth with others, and you're going to make other disciples. All we have to do is share the truth. We try to convince as much as we can, but that's not our job. Our job is to share the message. So we are coming up on our 3-hour block. So I'm going to get ready to get off of here. And I'm going to be coming back on in about 10 minutes where we're going to be breaking bread because we're going to be eating our unleavened, our Matsuh for the last night. It's amazing how fast this time has went.
I'm still waiting on the people to come.
Right? It's unbelievable. It's like we done did the whole Pesach, did all that stuff, put all that together logistically, had done it, it's finished, and here we are, the last day of unleavened now.
That shows you how amazing Abba Yahuah is, though.
Man. Comes by so fast. You're welcome, Cody Angel. And Cody means my sister in Hebrew. So we're going to go ahead and end it here for now. Let's see what Miriam, let me see. You said, I became a Christian 3 years ago and have never felt comfortable saying the name Jesus. When I prayed, I always felt weird using the name. I first heard the true name in September and it felt different. That's right, Miriam. We miss you too, Cody Jackie C, and the place to be from NYC. Shalom Askia. Shabbat Shalom to Mishpaka. Cody Lawrence, Shabbat Shalom. Yes, I see you there, Jamba. Great to see your face. Apollo, all is well with you. And please give our love to Kevin. I didn't get a chance to speak with him, but I do want to send something his way for him to read, if that's okay, and if you can give it to him. I'm going to send it via email. So do look out for it here. In fact, I'll let you know when I do send it, since I have your number, because I truly did want to talk to Kevin, and I truly believe that Abba Yahuah is calling him as well, for him to come down and drive all those hours down to Phoenix. We all can put up a hard shell, and especially when you're in unfamiliar territory, and it's just natural for any of us to put up a wall of defense and to be guarded. That's our way of protecting ourselves. But I just want your Aish, your husband, Kevin, to know that Yahuah is calling out to him now. It's up to him if he's going to be chosen. It's truly up to Kevin to make that decision. But I do want to send some words of encouragement to your husband, and I want to thank him for bringing you down there with your family, and I hope maybe the next time when we all see each other that he will partake with us. That would be beautiful. That would be Yafa. Yes, I will. I definitely will, Cody. All right. Well, with that being said, Let's do the Aaronic Barakah for those of you who aren't coming back. And for those of you who are, I will be back in about 10 minutes. I'm going to read from Numbers chapter 6. And this is Aaronic Barakah, also known as the Aaronic blessing. And it reads, And Yahuah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is how you barak the children of Yasharal. Say to them, Yahuah barak you and guard you. Yahuah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuah lift up his face upon you and give you shalom, peace. Thus they shall put my name, that is Yahuah, on the children of Yasharal, and I myself shall barak them. Hallelujah. Well, I want to thank all of you for your time. Those of you who have contributed to this ministry, not only monetarily, but your time, your giving, all the things that you have done, the love that you've shared with the Mishpachah, coming together, all of that. I want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is what makes this Mishpachah, this family, so wonderful. And as we continue to grow, may we continue to share this truth with others, that they too may come into this truth. We're not the only ones who know this truth. There's other ministries out there that are sharing this as well. I would encourage you to seek them as well. And don't worry if we don't all have the same exact understanding. Yahuah is going to reveal all of that as well. I can only speak of our Mishpachah and what we share here. We continue to examine ourselves. We continue to look within ourselves. We check ourselves, even amongst one another, how we speak to one another, how we show love to one another. Let us continue to show love to each other, Mishpachah. Let us continue to palal, to pray for one another, because this is what he has commanded us to do. My name is Ak Jimmy, also known as Brother Jimmy, and we are ambassadors of Yah. Until next time, Mishpachah, again, I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Hope to see you then, where we'll be breaking bread together with the Matsuh for the last time this year. Shalom, Mishpachah. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
We are taking those of the children of Yasharal straight out of the book. The scriptures, verses sharper than fishing hooks, snagging souls, taking tolls, leaving devils shook. Who we be? Messengers, truth bringers, that's the key. Unlocking minds, leaving darkness in debris. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Spreading love from near to far. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Listen close, hear us, yeah. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Spreading love from near to far. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Listen close, hear us, yeah. Verses be thumping, shofars be blowing, beat be steady. Work power every hour, truth already. Blended deep secrets keep fools unsteady. We elevate till your fate be ready. No compromise. Open your eyes, see the light. Walk tall, stand strong with all your might. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Spreading love from near to far. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Listen close, hear us, yeah. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Spreading love from near to far. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Listen close, hear us, yeah.
Rumamu Yahuah.
be the light. Walk tall, stand strong with all your might. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah, spreading love from near to far. We are the ambassadors, ambassadors of Yah. Listen close.